Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're kicking off Halloween month with a brand new game on the channel in kind of a Halloween vein, as we're playing Horrified World of Monsters by Ravensburger. Our goal in this one, to try to defeat the monsters on the board, and we're playing with two of them. We can lose in one of two ways. We can lose if either the terror level reaches its maximum, which is all the way up here, or if the monster deck is empty. So we're playing as two characters. We'll meet our characters first. First up, we've got the Investigator, who starts at South Station. She's got 4 actions. As a special action, discard 2 items to pick 1 item from the discard pile and keep it. We won't go through the backstory here, but we will take a look at her perk card. She has a Chrono Helm. Choose one. Move each monster up to 2 spaces, or move each hero up to 2 spaces, which we can discard that for use. And then teaming up with the Investigator tonight, we have the Fortune Teller, who starts off at the Fool's Journey. Special action, you may look at the top monster card on your turn. This does not take an action. Monster cards are up here. And then her mini is right here. She starts at the Fool's Journey. Now let's meet the 2 monsters that we're taking on tonight. First, we are taking on the Yeti. Objective. The Yeti only wants to survive, and humanity has stolen everything, including its children. Return the Yeti's children to remove the threat. Power is a snow blast. The closest hero or citizen not in the Yeti's location takes 1 hit. This has no effect if everyone is in the Yeti's location. And then research. Step 1, advance, let's go home. Reveal the Yeti's cave. Use guide to escort the Yeti's children to the Yeti's cave. Once there, place the Yeti's children in an empty space on the Yeti's mat. The Yeti's children are not villagers and cannot be attacked or moved by monster or perk cards. Step 2, calm the Yeti. In the Yeti's location, use 1 of each type of item to defeat it. And then we've got the Sphinx. A simple proposition. Solve the Sphinx's riddle or get eaten. To solve the puzzle, make sure the numbers sum up to the values printed at the end of each row or column. Lethal Conundrum. As a group, discard 2 items with the same strength or increase the terror level by 1. Step 1 is to advance. Answer the riddle. At the Sphinx's location, place an item on the puzzle grid. Once the strength of the items in each column and row add up to the number at the end of that column or row, you have answered the Sphinx's riddle. You may discard an item to move or remove an already placed item. But as part of setup, we get the Power Gauntlet, which has a strength of 5, and that one can't be moved. Step 2, once you've correctly solved the Sphinx's riddle, in the Sphinx's location, discard 6 plus strength of items and defeat it. Top row needs to add up to 11, bottom row needs to add up to 10. Column here needs to add up to 7, so we need a 2 strength. These need to add up to a 5, and this column needs to add up to a 9. Okay, I think we are all set. So let's jump right in. And I'm going to be playing, this is actually my very first Horrified game, believe it or not. So I'll be using my usual Cthulhu token to go through that, to go through indicating whose turn it is. So the Investigator is going to start off with, okay, so yeah, we need to reveal the Yeti's lair. Reveal a lair when you're at its location. So let's go 1 up here. Then we'll go 2, 3 to grab these 2 items. And 4. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a gamble. And it looks like by reveal, as Dave's board gaming is first to join us here. How's it going, Dave? So to reveal a lair, we have to spend any color item tokens totaling 3 or more to reveal the lair and which monster it's associated with. So the gamble here is if we move the Yeti's child up here, then reveal that this is the Yeti's lair immediately, we're all of a sudden going to have two of the Yeti's children there. So, let's see. Guide one legend to or from. So we can use guide, and I think we are going to take the risk. So we are going to move. We've got, I should mention, by the way, the Yeti's children start at, in this case, starting at Steward's Spire. We've got one over at Thornvine Woods, and the other one is all the way over here at the House of Dusk. So I am going to use guide to move the second Yeti child over here, because I'm going to try to reveal this lair location next turn. I'm actually going to see if I can zoom in on that just a touch. You won't be able to read everything for the locations, but everything will be there. I've not checked out this version before. You have the original with Universal Monsters. I never got the Universal or the American Monsters. I liked the look of Greek, and I liked World of Monsters because, of course, World of Monsters has Cthulhu in it, and you guys know my love of the Cthulhu mythos. Oh, I forgot to reveal the Fortune Teller's perk card. So the Fortune Teller's perk, this might have impacted us, but not likely. Clockwork Companion. Take all items from any one space and give them to any one player. That would be something we'd have to discard. So move 2, 3, 4. Okay. Never mind. So let's go ahead and reveal our monster card. Let's see. It draws a card from the top of the monster deck and resolves the 3 cards. So first up, we will find an item. We've got 2 items here. And where do we place them? Place each item at the location indicated. Draw the number of items placed indicated on the item. Okay, so we go into our bag. This actually does come with the game. So our first item that we draw is an Abyssal Tincture. That'll go to the Skybound Galleon. Skybound Galleon is over here. And then our second item is a record player. That'll go to the Scuttled Siren, which the Scuttled Siren is... Where is the Scuttled Siren? That's Thornvine Woods. Where in the world... Okay, I'm getting old, so my eyesight is not what it used to be, but my eyesight clearly is not... I didn't think my eyesight was this bad. Stilttown the Void. Ay, ay, ay. Sounds like I'm looking for a ship of some kind. Wow. Where is this stupid Scuttled Siren? Oh, here it is. Yeah, my eyesight is not what it used to be, and it's in my old age. What can I say? Okay. Now the notes: each red monster deals 1 damage to the closest hero or villager if they're within 3 spaces, which would be the Sphinx, but the Sphinx isn't within space of anybody. So now on the monster attack, the color symbols. Looks like blue monsters attack, except we don't have any blue monsters to worry about. So that's blue monsters. So none of the monsters do anything, which means we are over to the Fortune Teller's turn. The Fortune Teller is going to start by taking the Cursed Tome for 1. Then is going to go 2 to Clockwork Village, 3 up to the House of Dusk, and 4 to Guide the Yeti's Child over here, just in case. I'm basically committing to to revealing the lair here at the Thornvine Woods and hoping that we get the Yeti's lair. But let's draw a monster card for the fortune teller's turn. One item. So back to the bag. Watcher's Eye at South Station, and thankfully that's easy to remember-ish because that's where the investigators started. Then, as notes, move each eye monster to the closest lair location, which is neither one of them. And then the attack is... looks like gear monsters again attacking. That can't be... looks like brown monsters attacking again, but no... neither one of our monsters are gear monsters. Always starts with the leftmost icon to see... wait. Either a frenzy monster or... okay, so we've got no frenzy monsters, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. So no attack coming again. That'll bring us over to the investigator. And now we're going to move one into the Thornvine Woods. Then it's 3 tokens to reveal the item. So I'm going to discard the Vessel of Void to reveal the lair here. The lair we find. Oh, wait. Okay, so what does that icon translate to? Let's see. To reveal the lair and which monster is associated with it. So, let's see if this... well, the monsters includes blank lairs. So that doesn't look like a lair for anybody. Oh. So this is actually a blank lair from the looks of it. Okay, never mind. So that is a blank lair, which means our gamble didn't pay off. We've got 3 more lair locations. We've got 1 more down here toward the south end of the board, and then the other 2 are scattered up over here. So that was 2, and I guess we'll go 3, 4 to guide the Yeti's children. And then we'll draw another card. No items coming out. Descend into Madness. Move each gem monster to the closest hero. That will be the Sphinx. The Sphinx is moving over to the closest hero. Let's count closest hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Oh, hold on. Looks like it. Okay. So the Sphinx is actually moving to the investigator, which could be a problem. The Yeti will attack closest hero or citizen not in the Yeti's location. It takes 1 hit. So, just got to look for how we resolve monster attacks. Okay, the monster will move and attack first. Moves toward the closest hero in play. Okay, so I have not been paying attention. So it'll move and attack. Which neither one had the right symbol on those cards, but we do have the Yeti here. So it will move 1 space. And then it'll attack the investigator. Let's see here. Attack one of the monsters by rolling the number of attack dice indicated. So in this case, the Yeti gets 2 attack dice. Okay, so the character is hit by the monster's attack once for each hit rolled. So once the power is resolved, Let's resolve that monster's power ability first, which the... Okay, so it's a hit on the investigator. She does have an item to block it with. So, next attack one of the characters. Actually, there's nobody there. Okay, so yeah, looks like on the attack, the monster moves to a location with a character in it, stops moving. Okay, so the power symbol is rolled. Determine if the targeted hero is still in the location. Any hit symbols. So, okay, so that's only if the power is activated, but since the power was not activated, then he would attack, but there's nobody there. So, minor panic averted, but still a bit problematic. That'll bring us over to the fortune teller. The Sphinx didn't attack because the symbol wasn't on the card. So the fortune teller is going to go 1 to grab this House of Dusk, 2 to move down to Clockwork Village, 3 to grab the typewriter, and 4 to guide the Yeti's child down to the Fool's Journey. And we'll reveal the location here. We'll reveal the monster card. No items go on the board. Celestial Empowerment. Move each. What symbol is that? That's a ghost monster. 3 spaces toward the hero with the most items. The most items is the fortune teller. So the Yeti does have a ghost symbol, so it will be moving 1, 2, 3, finding 2 of its children. And oh boy, we got both the Yeti and the Sphinx moving. Or we got both the Yeti and the Sphinx moving and attacking. So the Yeti... So we'll have the Yeti act first. Moving 1 space toward the nearest hero. They're both going to land on the investigator. So now we're going to roll 3 dice. Because that's the number of attacks it's got. Actually, both... Yeah, they're both attacking. Alright, that is a hit. That's a hit for sure, which means we will have to... So we didn't activate the power, but we do get hit. They defend themselves from the hit by discarding 1 item for each hit symbol rolled. So we will have to discard the Steward's Spire to block the hit. And then the Sphinx, yikes. Okay, so remove the hero from the board. Okay, so the Sphinx is attacking as well. Wow, that's problematic. We rolled 2 hits and a power symbol. So now we have to trigger the Sphinx's power. As a group, discard 2 items with the same strength or increase the terror rating by 1. Oh, that's bad. Because that means the fortune teller's got to discard both the typewriter and the cursed tome so we don't increase the terror level by 1. But to make matters worse, the investigator will get defeated, and the investigator will start her next turn at the reviving throne. So the reviving throne, but that will increase the terror level by 1. And I'm assuming when it reaches that fire icon, that's bad. That seems mildly problematic. Okay, wait, solo play. Oh, okay, we are playing with 2 heroes. So that's only if you play with 1 hero. I gotta see what happens, though, when it gets the frenzy. Monsters are agitated and 1 monster will always be frenzied. With the lowest frenzy order, so it looks like the... Oh, when the frenzy symbol appears. So the frenzy symbol is... Which one? Will always be frenzied at the beginning of the game, yada yada yada. Frenzy symbol, the frenzied monster moves and attacks. Okay, well, we're not playing with solo play, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Anywho, That's going to be a big problem here. I'm just double checking. If the frenzy symbol, the monster with the frenzy marker. Okay, so that's probably what that is. Right. So if that fire symbol's crossed out, then the frenzy monster moves and attacks. And right now that's the Yeti. So we'll put that on the Yeti. Yikes. Okay, so the fortune teller pops up at the reviving throne. So now she'll get to take her turn like normal. Action 1, over to Spectre Trail Caravan. Action 2, to get the Watcher's Eye. Action 3, to move over to the Crossroads. Action 4, to Mary's Mill. To Mary's Mill. Drawing our next card, we get one item out. And we've got the Cutlass of Spirits going to the Door of the World. Door of the World is up here. And that's an item strength of 6. And then we're moving each eye monster to the closest lair location, which neither one of our monsters have eyes. So Frenzy monster doesn't attack. Gear monster would move and attack, but neither one of these monsters have gear anyway. So that is it for the investigator's turn. Now we're over to the fortune teller. Fortune teller is going to move action 1 to the Arcane Forge. Action 2, grab the Hand of Dialogue. Action 3, back to Clockwork Village. And action 4 to the Fool's Journey. We'll plan on guiding this Yeti child over to the Garden of the Risen. Next card for the next monster card. No items. Descend into Madness. Move each, what is that? Jewel monster to the closest hero. That is the Sphinx. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Presumably I can choose, so I will have the Sphinx move over to the fortune teller. Then the frenzy monster doesn't attack, but a tincture monster does. Unfortunately for us, the Yeti also has tincture. So it will move to the Steward's Spire, and nothing happening. It's not going to attack its own children for obvious reasons. And that'll bring us over to the investigator. Action 1 will grab the stake bow. Action 2 up to the Door of the World. Action 3 will grab the Vessel of the Void. And then action 4 will immediately discard it to reveal the lair up here. Hopefully we don't find the Yeti's lair up here, but let's see. There's only one way to find out what lair's here. It's a blank lair, so the Yeti's lair is one of these two, which we could probably work with that. So we kind of dodge a bullet on that one. Then we'll get another monster card up here. Uh-oh, no items out, Deja Vu. For each monster, draw and place an item token and place the monster in that item space, and now the frenzy monster, which is the Yeti, will be acting. So for each monster, we've got both of them out. We'll draw the Yeti first. That is the House of Dusk. So that'll go over here, as will the Yeti. Then for the Sphinx, the Sphinx pulls the Arcane Forge, which actually moves that away, so that's a little bit of a problem. And then the Frenzy monster is moving, as is an eye monster, but we don't have any eye monsters. So the Frenzy monster is moving one space down to the Clockwork Village, and then it'll be trying to attack with 2 dice, but there's nobody in its space to attack. Over to the Fortune Teller next. Fortune Teller is going to go action 1 to guide the Yeti's child in to the Garden of the Risen. Action 2, going to move to the Garden of the Risen. Action 3, I'm going to discard the 2 items to get me to 4 strength, and I'm going to reveal the lair there and hope that we've found the Yeti's lair. We have found the Yeti's lair, the Yeti's cave, so we use the guide action to move the Yeti's children to this location. So we got a very lucky break. That's the first Yeti's child that's going to be coming off the board as we use guide to escort the Yeti's children to the Yeti's cave. So we got a good break on that one. So that was action 1. So action 1 was to move here. 2 to reveal. 3 and 4 will guide one of the Yeti's children down to the cave. So that's the second Yeti's child that we've guided in, which means we just need to get the last one in, then we can take the Yeti off the board. Next monster card, though, well, then we can defeat the Yeti, I should say. 3 items. And we're going to have a new citizen coming out momentarily as... Uh-oh. This could be a very big problem. So 1, 2, 3 items, right? Yes. Got 3 items. First up is the flashlight. That'll go to the steam plant. Then we've got the burning helm. That'll go to the Clockwork Village right on top of the Yeti. And the typewriter, that'll go to the House of Dusk. Right over here. And then the rest of the card, Citizen, Mari, starts at the Fool's Journey. Notes, their pub surprisingly makes a divine martini, but I always order the Cross Creek Brew. So Mari there. And both monsters are moving, so the Yeti will start off by moving down to the Fool's Journey. We'll get 2 attack dice. That's a hit, so it'll defeat Mari, which will increase the terror level. That didn't take long. And the Sphinx will move 1 space as well. It would attack, but there are no citizens in the space. So easy come and easy go. Gross, gross, gross. We're already at 2 terror, and things are not looking great. So now we're back over to the investigator. The investigator is going to go action 1 to pick up this cutlass. Action 2 to the roaming wolf. Action 3 to grab the unknown effigy. And action 4 down to the House of Dawn. Next monster card for the investigator's turn. 2 items, and we've got whiteout. We'll deal with that momentarily. First, we've got a stake bow that goes to the Thornvine Woods. And finally, and then a steam pistol going to the Roaring Wolf. The Roaring Wolf is up here, back by the investigator. And then each hand monster deals 1 damage to the closest hero or villager if they're within 3 spaces. That is the Yeti. Can he get to the fortune teller? 1, 2, 3. Yes, he can. And the fortune teller doesn't have an item to block with, so the fortune teller gets defeated. Fortunately for us, neither hero can, or neither monster can get to the investigator, so the terror level goes up again by 1. Then the frenzy monster isn't moving, and then neither one of them is moving otherwise. So that'll be the fortune teller, but I need to take a quick drink. I feel my throat getting a little bit dry. Yowza. We've got trouble on our hands. The fortune teller... Well, we need to get the investigator a blue item is what we need to do here. So I think we are going to go 1 to Spectre Trail Cavern, 2 to the Crossroads, 3 to the Steam Plant, and 4 to grab the flashlight. I'll plan on passing that over to the investigator. And then we just have to get to the Yeti's location and use one location of each type. So for the Sphinx, do we have to solve them all? Once the strengthened items in each column and row add up to the... I'm pretty sure we're going to have to solve them all. Yeah, that looks like it. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to... I think we're going to have to solve all of them. Okay, so that was... So 1, 2, 3, 4 to pick up. Okay. Now that we've got that sorted out, now let's get to the monster card. 3 items coming out. One, two, three. Oops, that's 4. We'll put that one back. I haven't looked at any of them yet. First up, we've got a purple decrepit dirk. That'll go to the Steam Plant, which the fortune teller could grab if I think we need it, and we might. Garden of the Risen with a backpack. Which is the Yeti's lair, incidentally enough. And another abyssal tincture in the Thornvine Woods. Which the Thornvine Woods was right here. Alright, then our monster action. Turn a revealed lair face up, turn a revealed lair face down, then mix up all face down lairs. Move the frenzy marker to the next monster. So since we've already found the Yeti's lair, actually looks like we're supposed to leave those there. So Door to the World and the Thornvine Woods, that'll be face down, and I don't think it really matters here. Oop. Yeah, I don't think we need to care about what lair it is as long as we don't lose the Yeti's lair. And then we'll move the frenzy marker to the next monster. Because of the frenzy marker moving, both monsters will actually get to act this round. So we'll start off with the Sphinx as it picked up frenzy, moving 3 spaces and rolling 2 dice. Can it get to anybody? Fortunately, the answer to that is no. So 1, 2, 3, but it will move to the Crossroads over toward the fortune teller, which potentially could help us out if we can find another 5 strength item. Possibly. And then the Yeti will move 3 spaces. I think it's moving toward the fortune teller as well, yeah. So 1, 2, 3. And it would be trying to attack, but there's nobody in its space to attack. So over to the investigator now. Let's see here. Do I want to try to have the 2 meet up and have the Yeti land on top of us so we can potentially defeat it? I think the answer to that, 3, and then 4 to take the... And then 4 to share any number of items. So I think that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to pass over a 2 and a 5. I'm going to pass over the stake bow and the Watcher's Eye. That way, if the Yeti lands on the fortune teller, we'll be able to defeat the Yeti this turn. So next monster card up is another citizen, but we've got 3 items coming out first. 3 items. Got them. Yep, 3. First up, we've got a phone going to North Station, which North Station is up here. Then we have a mechanized crow going to Stilt Town. And finally, we have another phone. This one is going to South Station. Let's see, during the... Let's see. So I'm trying to figure out... Actually, we've got Dr. Weir coming out, starting at the Skybound Galleon. His ingenuity and 12 doctorates speak to his versatility in facing the void's many surprises. So he goes to the Skybound Galleon, which is right on top of the Yeti. So that could be very dangerous. We might want to try to take the Yeti out this turn. So follow the instructions. Okay, that's the one thing I was looking at. This might result in the same monster moving and attacking twice, which in this case will be what happens because the Sphinx is frenzied. So we are going to move over toward the steam plant, where the Yeti or the Sphinx will get to attack with 1 attack die. So it will attack twice. Can we determine for the closest hero? Okay. Alright, when instructed to move a monster, you must move him along the shortest path. Next, attack one of the heroes. Monster will always choose to attack a hero, chooses which hero to attack. So I'm going to have the Sphinx attack the investigator. That way I can protect the fortune teller's items and go get... Oh, no, actually I can't get rid of the Yeti yet because I need to get this child over to the Yeti's cave. But still I'm going to have him attack the investigator twice. First one will be a hit. She'll use the Cutlass of Spirits to defend. And then we'll have the Sphinx attack the investigator again. This time it'll do nothing, so that's fortunate. Then over to the fortune teller. I'm going to have to gamble that the Sphinx isn't going to act again, but I think both of our heroines really need to get Gitfo at this point. So 1 to the Crossroads, 2 to Mary's Mill, 3 to another Crossroads, and 4 to Steward's Spire. This way we can guide the Yeti's child into the lair on the fortune teller's next turn. So the next card up, we've got another citizen coming out, and the Sphinx double moving. So Jennifer will be coming out in a second, but we'll get 3 items first. One, two, 3. Okay, so our first item is a phantasmic orb. That's going to the House of Dawn, which is over here. Then Simon's Lash, going to Spectre Trail Caravan. And finally, the Binoculars going to the Skybound Galleon, which is back over here. And then Jennifer, starting off at Clockwork Village. A steward in training, Jennifer gives us all hope the terrestrial plane will remain safe. So Jennifer goes over to Stilt Town. And the Sphinx is making friends with the investigator, attacking with 2 dice. 2 damage, so hit once for each symbol rolled. So once it'll discard the unknown effigy, and then the investigator will be defeated, moving back up to the reviving throne, and the terror level, what is that called? The terror level or the horror level? Terror level, well, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. And then it's moving again. So this time it's moving toward Jennifer, which this is really bad. So we get another attack. and takes Jennifer off the board, which increases the terror level again. It is not looking good for us here, folks. So we're over to the investigator's turn, but given that the investigator just had to revive, yeah, things are going to go sideways on us very quickly, I think. Action 1, over to Spectre Trail Caravan. Action 2, grab the lash. 3 to the North Station. 4 to grab the phone. That way we have a way to defend ourselves. Then our next card. Drawing 1 item. We've got another copy of Simon's Lash. This one is going to Clockwork Village, which Clockwork Village is down here. Then we've got Awaiting the Hunt. So each sword monster deals 1 damage to each hero and villager in their space. Sword is, well, that's a dagger monster. So fortunately we don't have, actually we do have the Sphinx. Fortunately, good news and bad news. Bad news is we do have a dagger monster, which is the Sphinx. Good news is there's nobody there. Otherwise, we'd be 1 terror level away from losing. Frenzy monster doesn't move. We don't have any eye monsters in the game, so we kind of dodge a bullet on that one. Over to the Fortune Teller's turn next. Action 1, guide the last Yeti child into the Garden of the Risen, which will take that Yeti child off the board. So now we can calm the Yeti. And I think we're going to work in that direction. 2, 3. And we'll grab the record player for 4, because I don't want to be in the same space with the Yeti, just in case we draw a Yeti attack. Let's see what card we draw here, though. Citizen, we've got Raimi. But we need 3 items first. One, 2, 3. First up, we have a tracking device and item strength of 3 that goes to the Roaming Wolf, which the Roaming Wolf is up here. Then we've got Stanley, which looks like a cat, goes to the Spindlewood Institute. The Spindlewood Institute is over here, which is another possible lair. And the Crescent Scythe, which goes to the Garden of the Risen. Garden of the Risen is back down here, the Yeti's lair. Then we've got Raimi coming out. He starts in the Thornvine Woods. Perhaps Raimi would capture better footage for his documentary if he weren't always running away. I mean, he's not wrong about that. Here's Raimi going to the Thornvine Woods. And then we've got both monsters moving and attacking. So we've got the Frenzy monster, which is the Sphinx. It is moving 1 space out to the steam plant, but there's nobody there. Then we've got a ghost monster, which the Yeti is a ghost monster, so he's attacking Dr. Weir, since he's right there. 3 dice here. We need to hope one of these doesn't. We need to hope all 3 of these are misses of some kind. But of course, we've got 2 hits, so Dr. Weir comes off the board. And we are now 1 terror level away from losing. So the next advance, we lose the game. And unfortunately, it is the investigator's turn. Let's see. The investigator... We do not have the items, I don't think, for the Sphinx's riddle. So actually, I think we're going to go... 1 to the Spectre Trail Cavern, 2 to the Spindlewood Institute, 3 to grab Stanley, and 4... what do I want to do for action 4? I think down to the Crossroads. And we'll see what happens here. I realize I'm putting the investigator in all kinds of peril. And that's probably going to come back to bite me in the ass here. So 2 items coming out. Okay, first up is a Hand of Dialogue going to the Garden of the Risen, which is back here. And the Ring of Roots going to the Steam Plant. Steam Plant is back up here with the Sphinx. Then we move each monster 2 spaces toward the closest wrench monster. Fortunately, there's no wrench monster in the game. Unfortunately, the hand monster is moving, which in this case is the Sphinx, moving 2 spaces but only has 1 attack die. So we have to hope for no whammy, no whammy, no whammy for the investigator's turn. But of course, we get hit with a whammy because that's a hit marker, and I can't really bring the dice tower. Actually, I could probably bring the dice tower. I'd probably bring it down here in hindsight. That's still not completely visible, but it's better than nothing. So unfortunately, that is going to be a hit, and the investigator will have to discard an item. We're going to discard the phone. We'll use that to block. Then we're over to the fortune teller. 1, and we'll use 1 of each item. So we'll use, I don't like using the bow, but we're going to have to. The flashlight and the watcher's eye. That's 1 of each type, and that'll defeat the Yeti. So that'll take the Yeti off the board. Which means now we don't have to worry about the Yeti symbols, so that's 2 actions left. 3 to take the 2 items at the Skybound Galleon. And 4, 4 we're going to move up to the Crossroads. And then we'll see what happens here. Now we might be able to start working on the Sphinx's riddle. 2, oh boy. Alright, so 2 items coming out first. There's 2. First, we've got a Cursed Tome going to the Scuttled Siren, which is down here. And a Power Gauntlet going up to North Station. So now each hero and villager moves 2 spaces toward the eye monster closest to them. No eye monsters in the game, but we are getting attacked with 3 attack dice, and that is the Frenzy monster that's attacking, which right now is the Sphinx and will be for the rest of the game. So, do we gamble on the... Do we gamble on the investigator coming up with at least 1 miss? It's actually going to be the investigator's turn, and we're probably going to want to work on the riddle soon. Well, actually, we need to work on the riddle. We need to get moving on that. So I think we have to play it safe and go after the fortune, and have him attack the fortune teller. Okay, I was going to say I don't completely hate that, but I actually kind of do. Because I do have to discard an item to block the attack. And then for the power, it says, as a group, discard 2 items with the same strength or increase the terror level by 1. Unfortunately, I have to discard both of my 2s because because we're also at the point where if we increase the terror level again, we just lose the game. So I need to be very careful about that, but it is going to be the investigator's turn coming up here momentarily. So as that as an action, as the Sphinx is... move each monster up to 2 spaces. I'm actually going to use the Chrono Helm here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to place Stanley on the... Sphinx's riddle. I'm going to put Stanley on the leftmost side, so I need to get the... Actually, how do I want to do this? The problem here is I've already got a 5. Let me bring this front and center for a second. I've already got a 5 on here. If I put the 4, well, actually, if I put the 4 here, that means I need a 5 here to finish that and a 2 here. No, I think that's actually fine. I think we will put the 4 there. So we'll put the 4 on the rightmost in the top row. So we'll call that action 1. Action 2 to the steam plant. 3 to grab these 2 items. And 4, we're going to need a whole bunch of 2s here, so I will go over to Stilt Town. Next monster card coming up. Oh, that's a problem. 2 items coming out. Okay, 1, 2. Put that one back. That's an unknown effigy going to North Station. And a record player going to the Spindlewood Institute. And then each tincture monster removes all items from the closest space containing items. So that is nothing, thankfully. And then, oh yikes, this is a problem because he's attacking the fortune teller. So basically we're gambling on no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, and we've actually got a lot of different whammies here. 2 hits will do it naturally, so that'll bring us up to the top of the terror track, and we have lost the game. So the monsters, so basically the world's been overrun and abandoned to the monsters. As I believe how that goes. Monsters have overrun the town. Yep. So that'll do it for this playthrough of Horrified World of Monsters. Actually, this is a pretty fun, quick little game. It's very pandemic-esque. I get the feeling from seeing how it played. And actually, I probably would have moved the. Actually, even moving the Sphinx wouldn't have mattered anyway, because it was going to be acting twice this turn anyway. So it would have come back, and moving it wouldn't have saved anything. I forgot about the Chrono Helm, which I was going to use, but it turns out it wasn't going to matter anyway. But no, I actually do enjoy this game. I actually did enjoy this game, even if we didn't do too bad for our first ever Horrified game, I don't think. We did manage to take the Yeti off the board, which is not nothing. But these are the monsters that they suggest playing with for a first game. So I definitely see myself pulling this out again, but we're not going to get to it this week. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up before I start rambling. We're going to have a lot of great stuff coming up on the channel this week. Wednesday, of course, I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of my off nights on the channel. But Wednesday we'll be back here. We'll be back here in the game room, as we will be streaming Alone Against Fear by Ganesha Games. Friday, we're going to be back over at my desk for Pinot with Phoenix for October 2025. Saturday, we'll be starting a new cookbook for Mystical Munchies, but I'll talk more about that during Pinot with Phoenix. Sunday next week, the fall camp... Actually, no. We're having another new game debut on the channel as we play Stalingrad Advance of the Volga by Revolution Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.